Good morning, good morning, good morning, LPES. It is Friday. We are here. We've made it to our Friday feeling. We want to start off today by wishing our third and fourth graders the best of luck with their testing that they're going through this morning. So if you are seeing this on Friday morning in kindergarten, first, second grade, our preschoolers, just be mindful. Let's be aware of our friends who are testing today, who are taking those tough state tests, and making sure that we are being respectful when we're walking through the hallways. One great way that we could practice kindness together today as a whole school is by being really mindful of our friends who are testing and walking through the school a little bit quieter until you hear us make an announcement later saying that all testing is completed. So testing is going to be happening for the next about 7 days. There's a break in there next Wednesday. So that means today we're testing, Monday and Tuesday of next week we're testing. We're not testing on Wednesday. Little break, little reset for the whole school. Thursday, Friday of next week, and then the following Monday. So from now through May 22nd, we are testing except for Wednesday, which I think is the 17th. I'm not positive, but I think it's the 17th. So that is just a little shout out to our third and fourth graders. Third and fourth graders probably aren't watching this morning because they're testing. So if you are seeing this later on in the day, third and fourth graders, congratulations to you for making it through your first day of testing. First day is almost always one of the hardest because we're getting through all the quirks of it, and that's when things might not work as perfectly as we want. So I am proud of each and every one of you, if you're watching this after testing, for making it through that, and use today's tough day as a way to push ourselves forward through those other tough moments as the next few days of testing happen. This is something that can help all of us, even our friends who aren't testing right now. When we have something that is particularly challenging, we can use it as a building block. We can use it as almost a step to pull ourselves up when we have something else that's difficult. So for my third and fourth graders, you've made it through day 1 of testing. If day 2 is hard, you can remind yourself, I know this is hard, but I already got through a day of this. I know I can do it. I know I can do it. So using those challenges to help move ourselves forward. All right. Moving right along, last week we were so lucky we had 2 special guests here, not just 1, but 2. We had Miss Viscuso here with us, our school social worker, whose office is right next door to mine. It is through this wall. You pass her office when you're coming down to mine. And we also had her adorable little dog, Tuxedo, who is so excitable and so cute and really added a fun little flair to our Friday Feeling video. The reason that we had Miss Viscuso on was because May is Mental Health Awareness Month. We talked about this a bit last week, but mental health is the same as our physical health, but it has to do with our mind, our emotions, our feelings, our heart, not our physical beating heart, but our heart that contains our feelings and our emotions, all of those things. So when we're talking about mental health, we are checking in with our brain, checking in with our feelings and emotions, and seeing how we're doing and trying to do things that we know will help us to feel better. I always like to share that I have my own toolkit, my own coping skills toolbox of things that I need to pull out sometimes and use if I'm having a tough day, if I'm struggling. And the interesting thing about those coping skills, about the things that help us when we feel like our mental health is a little off, it's not feeling 100%. The interesting thing about our coping skills toolbox is that yours looks different from mine, and mine looks different from the person next to you, and the other person next to you, and whoever else it might be. It's not always going to be the same. The things that work for me might not work for you, and the things that work for you might not work for me. That's okay. That's why in elementary school, we are discovering those things that help us to feel better. Maybe 5-finger breathing works to calm you down. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe taking a walk outside helps you to feel grounded and peaceful. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe playing a sport with your friends helps you to get your blood pumping and makes you forget about whatever worries have been on your mind. Maybe it doesn't. Each person's going to be different, and your job is to figure out what things you have in your toolkit, your coping skills toolbox, that can help you when you're faced with those tough times. So that is really what Mental Health Awareness Month is all about here at LPES and LPMS, which we'll be visiting in a few weeks on my video, not in real life, unless you're in 4th grade. Then we'll be going there for orientation. Today, we are meeting with another friend of mine who does a job that is similar to mine. It's not the exact same thing. She's not a school counselor, but she is a school psychologist. bigger word, that is for sure. Let's see if you can hear it again. It's school psychologist. Can you all say that with me? School psychologist. Yeah. And we're going to learn a little bit more about what her job is in just a moment. But I got to be honest with you. Sometimes I record these Friday feelings out of order. So this doesn't make total sense, but I already recorded my interview with Miss Palamone. And after we finished, I turned and looked over. And do you know what I saw sitting there that we never used? Our wheel. I forgot to have her spin the wheel. So we're going to do that first today, and then I'm going to kick it over to me and Miss Palamone to talk a little bit more about what it means to be a school psychologist. Here we go. Let's see what our kindness wheel comes up with today. Pretty exciting. Let's see. Only a few more of these wheel spins this school year. Let's see which one we got today. It says, let someone go in front of you in line. Oh, I love that one for our school. Let someone go in front of you in line. That is an easy thing to fight about sometimes. Who was there first? Who's line leader? Who lined up first? So taking the next few days, next week, let someone else go before you in line. See how that makes you feel. See if you can kind of resist the urge to fight with them. Be kind. Spread that kindness around by doing a simple act like letting someone go in front of you in line. All right, friends, I'm going to pass it over to myself again and Miss Palamone to find out a little bit more about what it means to be a school psychologist. Here we go. All right, my friends, we are right next door to my office. We are here with Miss Palamone, who is our school psychologist. We are really lucky in our district because we have not one, but two school psychologists here, and you're going to meet our other school psychologist next week. That's Miss Calandrillo. She's mostly up at the middle school, but she visits here probably once or twice a week. But Miss Palamone is with us every single day here at LPS, so we are really excited to have her here on Friday Feeling. Thanks for joining us, Miss Palamone.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be on this week.
Now, this is also really exciting for me personally because Miss Palamone started at our school this past September, so this is still her first school year here, which I can't believe. It feels like you've been here much longer than that. I don't know if you feel that way, but it feels like she's been here longer. So it's really nice because this is one of the first Friday Feelings that Miss Palamone's really on and sitting down and chatting with us today. I know you've kind of been in the background of a few others, I think, when I've been running around the school. So, of course, our Friday Feelings always start off in similar ways. We're going to start with one of our Mindful Morning cards. Last week, we had two very special guests. We had Miss Viscuso, and we also had her dog Tuxedo on to pick our card. And our card last week was to meditate for 5 minutes. So that's doing like some mindfulness for 5 minutes. We're going to have Miss Palamone pick another mindfulness card for us right now.
Let's see.
Here we go. Trying to spread them out. Let's see.
Appreciate the taste, texture, and smell of your breakfast.
Oh, I like that one a lot. And you know, you have hopefully already had breakfast at this point. So you can either do this one tomorrow over the weekend, or you could do it at lunch with your lunch instead of your breakfast. When we sit and we appreciate how our food tastes and smells, the texture of it, it makes us slow down a little bit, and it's kind of like mindful eating. So it's a nice thing to do to kind of keep ourselves calm, especially in that lunchroom, which can be very loud and very noisy at times. All right, Miss Palamone, thanks for picking a great card. We haven't had that one before, I don't think, so that's exciting. Okay, so I have a few questions for you today so that our viewers in the classrooms can get to know you a little bit better. So the first thing is, how do you work with students at our school as a school psychologist?
Sure. So my job is a little similar to Miss Viscuso's and Miss Heffler's, where I work with students on really tough thoughts and feelings and emotions. But something that's a little different than their jobs is I also help with students and their learning. So some students you might have know me. You might have come down to my office one morning and we worked together in here. And some of you might see me popping into classrooms. So I go in there just to see, what everyone's learning, how they're learning. Every student learns differently, and part of my job is to help support the learning and making sure everyone has the best accommodations and modifications to help them in the classroom.
That's great. That's a really important job to have. I know, yours is interesting, Miss Palamone, because Miss Viscuso and I, we kind of handle more of like the emotions, how we're feeling about things, and you handle that as well. Mm-hmm. But then on top of that too, you also have how kids are learning, how they're able to learn, and how we all learn in different ways and things like that. So your job is really unique in that way. All right, what made you want to become a school psychologist?
Ooh, that's a good question. I just like working with students, and I think learning and being being able to learn in a way that helps you is so important in school, because if we aren't being supported with learning, we don't want to come to school. So I want to do my best to help everyone here at school, making sure they feel supported and that they're comfortable and they're learning the best way that they can.
Very cool. Yeah, that is a great goal to have for sure. What do you like best about working with students? You worked in another school last year, so this is your second school that you've worked in, right?
Yes.
Were you also with elementary school last year?
I was.
Okay,
I love
cool.
elementary school.
We love elementary school. All right, so what do you love about working with students?
I just love working with the students. Everyone has such unique personalities, and everyone's just so great in their own way, and getting to know everyone here and learning about them and being able to, either work one-on-one when we're working together, or seeing everyone in the hallway and just saying hi and being around everyone. So
yeah, each student is really different. Even with like 500 kids here, you're all so different from each other. Okay, do you have any advice for students who might be having a tough time at school?
I think just come down and talk to one of us. I'm always here. My door's open. Miss Heffler's here. Miss Viscuso's here. That's our job. We're here for you. And it's really hard to be dealing with tough emotions, thoughts, all on your own. And just talking to someone, even if you just come down here, we can play a game and just have someone to share what you're feeling, and we can come up with some good strategies to help.
I love that. We aren't magicians, unfortunately. We don't have a magic wand. We can't just make our problems go away or your problems go away. But I always like to say the same thing, that sometimes when we just talk to someone else about it, it makes us feel a little bit better. It makes us feel a little bit lighter. It makes us feel a little bit less worried or less alone even about whatever problem we're facing.
Exactly.
That's good advice, Miss Palamon. All right. How do you take care of yourself so you can be the best school psychologist for our students?
I like to go on walks, especially with the nice weather, just going outside, getting some movement in. It's a great way to kind of relax and, have some mindfulness. So with the weather being nicer, I suggest everyone go outside, take a nice walk, and just reflect on the day.
I love that. Put the tablets down, put the video games down, get outside for a little bit. Even if it's not forever, just get outside for a little bit, enjoy the sun. Okay. Last question for you. You have a lot of fun stuff here. In fact, I'm going to turn you guys around so you can kind of see the rest of Miss Palamon's office. So that's her desk. She has a nice little view of like the playground area, that parking lot. She has a lot of games, a lot of toys, a lot of different activities and books and things like that can help students. So with all of that cool stuff in here, I cut you out of the screen. Oh my goodness. What is your favorite thing in your office?
My favorite thing is my feelings check-in, and we can look at it together.
Yeah, let's do that. Here we go. I'll turn us around.
Whenever a student comes in my office, I like to have them take a second and check in with their feelings so everyone can look at it today. And for example, being on Friday feeling video, I'm very excited, but maybe a little nervous as well. So I think it's a great way just to check in and reflect on how we're feeling.
Awesome. I appreciate the honesty there. I know it can be a little nerve-wracking for us to be on Friday feelings in front of the whole school. It's something I do every week, so I'm kind of used to it, but whenever I put a new person on, they're always like, oh, this is a little nerve-wracking. So I appreciate the honesty. Well, Ms. Palamon, I have to say, we are so happy to have you here at LPES. It has been really awesome getting to know you this year and getting to work with you and getting to see you work with so many of our students. And I'm sure that our students that already know you feel the same. So thanks for everything you do. And thanks for sitting down with us on Friday Feeling today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Oh, we will have you back again. Do you know our sign-off phrase for Friday Feeling? It's okay if you don't. I can whisper it to you.
Stay kind.
It is. Why don't we go ahead and say it together? Ready? Stay kind, LPES. Bye, guys. We'll see you next week with more special guests for Mental Health Awareness Month. See you then.